buddies got together back in the 80s, and it just kind of kept escalating from there. And then picked up this guy here, Phil Ray.
Side of the road.
It's on the side of the road. Then it just kind of continued to go from there. We kept building with different players and better players, and just turned into be a really, really good deal for us. Practice, Phil Ray lived in Conway Springs, Kansas. We used to cruise down there and have practices about every other night.
Yeah, leave the garage or the freezer door open with the beer in it.
Yeah.
Let the meat go bad. Tom Smith, who had the Cowboy here, opened up a West Side club. And so that's where
He brought it to us and said, if you guys will play, I will open this club up. And we did. And it was 5 or 6 nights a week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was 6 nights. We
many
only had
times.
one day off. Yeah. But it was a really, really big club, and the crowds were just, the fans were just amazing every night.
And that was the
Every
benefit
night. Every night.
of playing a house gig, is because you're not tearing down, you're not dragging stuff up and down the road, you're not having stuff tore up, but you're there playing. And it got mundane at times where you're playing the same thing, but your tightness was there. We were just super tight, playing 5 nights a week, you know, week after week after week.
And we created this following. You know, we started to create this real massive following in the Wichita area. We would literally, I'd pull up in the club on a Friday night, you know, 30 minutes before we hit the stage, and there was already a line around the building waiting
Yes.
to get in.
Absolutely.
And no parking
Absolutely,
spots.
no parking places, you know, and it was just, that's how it was for us. And at the same time, they were pulling us out of the club and bringing us to the Cotillion Ballroom, and we were opening it for a national act, and then going back to the club, and it was just, it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
You know, we had Tom Smith, who had the club, had gotten a phone call from Kirstie Alley and said, who's the best band in Wichita? I want to hire him. And first thing you know, it's SlateCreek, and she calls, can you do this gig? And so I'm calling Tom, can we do it? No problem. And that was on a Tuesday, and was it Saturday night? Saturday night we played or so, I think it was.
Yeah, we did a private party for Kirstie Alley. It was fantastic. And as far as the music scene back then, you know, we talk about it now. You know, we lived on word of mouth and our following and our T-shirts and our jackets and our posters and all that stuff we had out. And now, you know, it's so different. You know, I told a musician the other day, you guys are so lucky now because you have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have YouTube. We had none of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Not even a Facebook page.
we just had to play good music and hope everybody would come out and see us, and we were really blessed.
Yeah.
And we opened for over 35 national acts, you know, over the course of a decade. And then, yeah, for sure. And we were entering the True Value Country Showdown, you know, and we won the contest, you know, locally, and then we won the contest regionally, and then we got, you know, then they sent us to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, you know, and then we did it the next year. We came back and did it all over again.
And there was a time too that once we started playing the opera, we did the Opryland Hotel for quite a few years. We
Played
did
the Stage Door Lounge.
Yeah, the Stage Door Lounge.
Yeah, which was, you just never knew who you was gonna see in there.
There's a 6 foot or 8 foot?
8 thing.
8 foot circle that they took out of the old Ryman Auditorium, and they put that right in the middle of it. So you stand on the same spot that
Elvis.
Everybody.
Hank Williams stood on,
And
Little
Elvis.
Jimmy Dickens,
Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
Patsy Cline, so many people that, you know, the country was built on, and you wind up and you're there.
You know,
We're in Roy Acuff's dressing room, you know, Donnie's over playing his piano.
Me and Russell was jamming with him.
You know, I remember walking in for rehearsal that day, the first year that we played on the Opry, because we played 2 different years on the Opry, but I remember walking in for rehearsal, and I can honestly say the 5 of us just stood there and didn't even say anything for the longest time.
We stood
were
around the circle.
speechless.
Yeah.
Just
We were like,
stood
oh
there.
my gosh, this is the
Just
Super
get
Bowl
this
of
goose-
country music, and we're here.
Yeah,
You
this
know, we made
goosebump
it.
feeling, you know, it's just an overwhelming sensation that you get while you're standing there. We're all just looking at each other going, wow.
You just
we're
knew
standing right
you
here.
had been there
Dude,
before.
pitch me, is this
And
real? We've had a chance, like you say, the 35 national acts that we've worked with,
Yeah.
Over that
at
time.
least half of them, if not more, have stood right there to a packed house of.
And we were a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have 5 of your best friends
Yes.
and just having fun.
And our families were involved too. It just wasn't 5 of us, but that was the biggest part of it, but our families were involved. We didn't leave one out or the other one out.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we had our times, you know, we loved each other,
Yeah.
we cried together, you know, we hated each other at times. We had a bus, you know, we were touring around on a bus and almost living on a bus together, and, you know, 5 guys.
It's hard to tell growing up.
Yeah, and we grew up together, and, but we're so blessed right now that here we are, we talked about it today, that here we are, you know, 30 years later, and we're all still sitting here together. We're all friends, and we all still love each other. Not every band can say that.
That's right.
The people here are remembering our music and remembering who we are.
And the response that we've had through this Kansas Music Hall of Fame with our fans.
Yes.
And, you know, again, we're doing a reunion show because of this, and it's just outstanding. And it brought us all back together after 25 years.
Yes.
You know, it's been just an outstanding run
Yeah.
through this.
Well,
It's an honor.
and we're also in there with like Dustin Arbuckle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Dustin Arbuckle, you know, a character, great player. And so many different players from so many different genres. The Wichita lineman was down here in Wichita. They did such a wonderful job. And just to be included with that group of people
Mhm.
is it's humbling,
Yes,
to say the
outstanding.
least.